Hello, and welcome to another series where I play Crusader Kings 3 using the hardest possible rule set. Because this is the first episode of a new series, I want to briefly explain what the rules are and the limitations on my play. First, we're going to be playing on Iron Man, and now that I've started this game, I will not restart it, won't do any rebooting to avoid events. Whatever happens, whether bad events, mistakes I make, I'll accept them and try to play through them. Playing on very hard difficulty means the AI gets more gold, buildings are cheaper, men-at-arms are cheaper, mercenaries are cheaper. For the player, hostile schemes are far more difficult, and mercenaries are more expensive, and the vassals are much more likely to join factions and rebel. These three here will deal with conquerors. See, we have increased conquerors, all of which will have the scourge-of-the-gods trait, and all of their heirs will inherit that trait, which is very powerful. So it gives extra advantage, army movement speed, siege weapon effectiveness. See, we are on unlimited black deaths and doomsday plague frequency. Legends are going to be very difficult for me to use. Lesser realm stability, meaning I will get more factions. Restricted diplomatic range, making it more difficult for me to find good wives and good spouses for my courtiers or heirs. Domain limit -3, very impactful, meaning I get much less gold levies from my domain, also fewer places to station my men-at-arms regiments. With that, let's begin. Going to be playing as Alexios Komnenos of the Byzantine Empire in 1066. I'll start by apologizing for all the Greek names I will surely mangle, likely already have mangled as part of this playthrough. Why Strategos Alexios? I've played feudal characters in the European area repeatedly now, wanted someone different, started thinking about playing as an administrative character in the Byzantine Empire or Eastern Roman Empire or whatever else you prefer. I was looking around at some characters, wasn't really finding one that really struck me until I came across Alexios here. From the Komnenos dynasty, he goes on to do great things, lead the empire. He and his dynasty helped stabilize it, and so I thought that was interesting. We'll give it a shot here. See, we are both brave and diligent. If you watch my prior series, you know I am a big fan of the diligent trait. We'll hope to keep that in our dynasty by passing on to potential heirs. Unfortunately, we're also deceitful here, which is a sin. It may be a real concern. Quite likely could make us more difficult for Alexios here to become the Byzantine Emperor, but we'll see what we can do. It does give him extra influence, which is very helpful. One of the things that I will be focusing on here will be trying to increase my influence as much as possible. So there is a silver lining to that. Along with that, he does get extra intrigue, though as I talked about in the introduction on the rule set, because we were playing on very hard difficulty, intrigue schemes are much more difficult to pull off. I'm going to pin myself here so I can quickly see my age and health. The first things I want to do is see if I can find someone good to educate me. Now it looks at education. Most important thing is that the person have some sort of trait in the intelligence realm, either quick, intelligent, genius. The more powerful the trait, the better it is. Now, what I'm going to do here is see if it's possible to find any geniuses around who just might want to educate 10-year-old Greek boy, organize them by their opinion of me. How about you? He has, well, he doesn't have great traits actually. That one is too young. Could go with Beatrice here. Learning is also important in terms of the educational outcome you get. So let's take a look at her. Okay, so she will accept. We'll pin her for now. Don't want to change culture or faith. I think this looks good. She's willing to do it. Again, she's a genius. She has high learning. She has decent personality traits. Ambitious is generally good. Humble is okay. Stubborn might be good since we're a stewardship character. So I think we'll go with that. I am making incredibly little gold here with my personal income and my treasury. But despite that, I really want to get the best tutor I can, get the best wet nurse I can, and also get a seneschal who will improve their aptitude. See, now I've dropped to 0 gain for my treasury, which is unfortunate, but we'll deal with it. So that's really my education, which is I wanted to focus on, really hoping to get a 4-star education here. We are playing on -3 domain limit, which means we get far fewer domain than we otherwise would, and it's really punishing. I'm hoping I get a good education, ideally a 4-star education, as I believe that would at least increase our domain limit holding to 2. You can see currently it's only 1. It would be 0, except 1 is the minimum. So I really want the best education I can possibly get, make a big difference to our ability to generate gold, prove ourselves over time. So what else we want to do? We can look at Greek culture here. We have a lot of unique cultural traditions. We'll try to participate in these as they come up. Probably they're more useful to the Basileus than us, but we'll take it anyway. See, some of these tenets of orthodoxy not too different from the Catholicism that we've played more recently. I'm going to go over here to activities and pin all the activities we can do. For that matter, even the ones we can't do. It just helps remind me that these activities are available, so I don't forget about them. We're going to do the same thing with decisions. Those will already pop up, so when these come available, we can consider taking them. I think that's good for now. Let's see what spouses are available. Here I'm sort of torn between doing what I would normally do, which is look for a woman with an intelligence trait to marry, so we can get our good intelligence traits into our dynasty. That versus trying to get an alliance with one of my fellow strategos who might help me increase my influence, help me with my schemes, help me eventually become the Basileus, the Byzantine Emperor. So let's look. So no one is willing, no one with an alliance is willing to marry me. Okay, that's interesting. I'm surprised at that. Let's see. Anyone with any traits? Wow. Okay, so we'll hold off on getting married then. A bit surprised it's that restricted. Well, I guess we'll wait till we become an adult and see what happens. We are stewardship focused. Okay, I'm thinking of, is there anything else here that we're missing? We want our counselor to be improving the development in our county. The rest of this is fine. Foreign affairs, definitely. I think I'm the only county level ruler in my realm, so my vassals' opinion of me is irrelevant. They're all mayors and barons, so they can't do anything. Obviously too young to serve my liege's council. We'll want to remember that I'm administrative, see what we can do in terms of our candidacy. We'll be looking to get the kingdom of Nicaea here when we get a chance. So we'll be looking to absorb some of the duchies to our west here. But that will take a lot of influence, which again leads to the emphasis on influence. Our estate, do we not have one? Okay. I sort of assumed we would have an estate somewhere. Maybe because we're a child we don't. Well, okay, so we'll move on, see what happens there. I guess we can try with our meager income to meet peers. Let's also go through our courtiers. Do we have to pay our own gold to get them? Yes, that is unfortunate. Okay. Looks like the only person he could marry is our wet nurse, who's already in our court. This one has more options. I'd like to get one with the highest learning I can, because we're playing on very hard. That's going to be 12 for all of our courtiers. When they marry someone, the highest score anyone outside our court will have that will come here is going to be 12. Here you can see we don't even get that. So, because of the rules that we're playing on, it really nerfs the ability to use your existing courtiers to marry people that come in and will do very well at positions. I think we will meet our peers here. Maybe let's wait a year just to see if there are children that get born or someone who can actually come. I'm a little bit concerned that if we hold it immediately, that what will happen is that no one will come and I'll just get stressed and it'll be a waste of 20 gold. I think for now I'll be loyal. It's less stress. I would like the gold, but I think this is the better way to go. For a while here, we're just going to be hanging out. There's not much we can do, I don't think, as a child. It's interesting. I wonder who is in line for that. Not me, obviously. Maybe we don't have a domain because our father is still alive, an estate, I should say. I'm fine with getting a little bit of stress reduction. Talked before. I guess we could look to see if I have better betrothal options. but I do not. Okay. Perhaps when I become an adult, we'll get some better options. Okay. Let's look at what we can build here, particularly in our main holding. Really looking for whatever gives us the most gold. Fortunately, can't get windmills or water mills, water wheels. Take a look at our innovations here. I mean, Greece is quite advanced in terms of the early medieval innovations. I assume it won't have any of the high medieval. High medieval is what include water mills, windmills, and water wheels, so have to wait a bit for those. Guessing the highest generating gold that we can build is the forestry. Let's look a bit just to be sure. Okay. Let's look at our other holdings just to check, see if it's possible to build fields and farms in one of those, which would be more gold. Doesn't look like we can, so we will be building a forestry here. For Hadrianopolis, could build the quarries. I mean, is that the best thing? I guess so. I guess it's quarries or hospices. Extra piety is probably more helpful than the reduction in construction building time. I mean, eventually these give some benefits, but it's way down the road. Let's take another look at hospices, what they eventually give us. Yeah, I think I'd rather have the hospices here, so we'll do that. And now we are really out of gold. Wait one more year, then meet peers. I guess we'll learn her language, make her happier with us. I generally don't read all the text for events. I've read them dozens of times before. I will show them on screen so that if people want to read them, depending on what sort of viewing device you're using, yeah, that's good. But otherwise, I tend to think, for me personally, reading them takes a good bit of time and makes these playthroughs even longer than they otherwise would. So obviously, we want to go with the top one here. There's no downside and avoids a ridiculous amount of stress. We'll go with the top one since the chances of the bottom one are quite poor. Just checking here because I'm concerned that there's not any children in my realm. Not sure if it's strictly limited to my realm or not. I already have 3 personality traits, so I'm probably not going to get any more from Beatrice. I don't think there's anything I can do to get her to give me a trait. When you are the player and someone is your ward, you can try to give them a 4th personality trait, though that's the maximum. Here, don't see any option to try to get her to give me another personality trait. Looks like my father has passed away. May need to create the cadet branch to get an estate. Do that when necessary if the time comes. Do have some peasant rabble. Don't think we have any sort of military, really. No ability to build one. We'll probably just have to give in to the peasant rabble, which will really hurt in terms of control. I don't know that there's another practical option, unfortunately. We can now, we're 12, we can now sway people. We'll sway our bishop here. Try to get him above 0, so we'll get a portion of the taxes from temples. We're also going to try to meet peers. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we'll give it a shot. Yeah, we don't have any men-at-arms at all, and yet our gold income still is quite poor. It's no knights. So really starting from the bottom here. Okay, at least it did fire. Hopefully we can improve our stats a bit here. Guess the top one here. There's not a lot of difference between the options. We'll join in the ball game here. Let's try to get some stewardship since our stewardship character. Looks like we failed the coin flip. Let's try to get the marshal. Marshal is more useful than prowess. Strong is helpful, but we can get strong in other ways, primarily through training for tournaments. So we did get increase in martial, which is good. We'll try to get the prowess here. Failed the 90% chance. Guess we'll have an alliance with him. Don't really see the downside at the moment. So at least Robert the Fox is not a scourge conqueror yet. Let's take a quick look to see if other characters are scourge conquerors. One of the challenges of playing in the Byzantine Empire is that it's simply, because of its location, really in the middle of the map, it tends to get attacked quite a bit. If you watch my prior series, it often gets ripped apart by scourge conquerors around it, just tearing off kingdoms. And so really, we're in a race against time here to try to take over the Byzantine Empire for ourselves, and then hopefully, we'll be able to manage any neighboring scourge conquerors and then start expanding the realm. But top one looks to clearly be the best option, right? Yes. So there's only one scourge conqueror currently. That's the Ghaznavids here. This person starts with the conqueror trait, so they will always be a scourge conqueror in 1066 in our games. similar to Saladin in 1187. Starts with a scourge conqueror trait, so always be a conqueror, scourge conqueror in games in 1187. I think for 1066 there's someone in southern India in the Chola Empire, or at least starts in Chola, who also starts with the conqueror trait. And so in those 867 games, that ruler will always be a scourge conqueror. Now we're just heading toward adulthood. Hopefully a good education. We do have some brother-in-laws that we could try to enter into alliances with. So this is actually quite concerning here. A few years ago, Paradox introduced the concept of random harm events. What happened is you get a precursor event, then 3 or 4 years later, there was the potential, not a certainty, but a potential to get a harm event that at that time would almost always either just kill you outright or render you incapable. So extremely negative results. And the idea that Paradox had was sort of shake up the game by either crippling or killing off rulers, and so you'd have sudden successions you'd have to deal with. Many players did not like that system, and so Paradox nerfed those harm traits and made them optional. We are playing with spitefully tragic for the player only. That means we're especially likely these harm traits, potential harm events. Normally, I have not seen them very often. I think in our prior 5 series, we had 2 pop up in our Matilda playthrough. Indeed, there was a harm event that killed Matilda at the end of her life when she was already quite old, like 75. But the other 4, we haven't seen them. So I am virtually certain that this is one of those harm events. My vague recollection is that this one may end up with us being rendered incapable, which would be really unfortunate. If it happens, I assume we switch to one of our brothers. Yep, whatever it is, oh God, his character is terrible. We'll play through it, whatever happens. Hopefully, we can stay alive, get a good education trait, and never worry about this event here. But we just have to see what happens. Guess let's get a physician in case it helps. Guess there's, I'll put them in advanced research anyway. We'll see. Interesting question of what is the administration of our theme. We are balanced. Do we want to be civilian or naval? I mean, civilian really fits in with our stewardship, assuming we get a good one that will help increase our governor efficiency. I think we do want to be civilian. We probably wanted to be that at the beginning. We just saved a little bit of gold and building those buildings. But let's... Does that mean he'll get more taxes from us? Maybe we don't want to do it. I guess we could try it, and hopefully it doesn't cripple us or our economy or anything. It hurt. All right. Well, perhaps that wasn't the greatest idea. I don't think there's anything we can do to improve ourselves. We'll take a pet cat. Why not? Spooky sounds like a good name. We'll enable ourselves to pet our cat. I don't think we need to do that right now. We'll just take the bottom one. I mean, we take the bottom one. He gives us opinion that he will give us taxes from church holdings. By contrast, the top one's a flip one, as a coin flip. Could end up with him, not giving us taxes from church holdings. So let's go at the bottom. See, we went up from, I think it was 0.5 or 6 to, well, we can see the church holdings there at 0.3. Here is this very painful peasant rabble that I just don't think we can do anything with. We want to increase our stewardship. We're just going to have to give into the peasant rabble and take the control hit. Maybe at some point when we build up our holdings, we'll be able to hire some men-at-arms. Okay, we'll have to wait for another year to take that governance event. I think we continue our stewardship focus with Gardener. Also has nice stress reduction. Herbalist is obviously both intrigue and learning, but I think let's go with Gardener. Really focus on stewardship here. Scar. Liege is getting attacked. I don't even know how we ended up with those. Okay. Okay, that's... Yeah, ideally, we'd have gotten level 4 education. We didn't. It is what it is. Maybe in the future at some point we'll have enough gold to go to university. Though right now those prospects look sort of dim. We will develop our capital. We will then pet our cat. We'll see if we can get married to anyone. This is very surprising that I can't get a single alliance. Let's just sort of look to see. Why, people? I have too many existing alliances. Okay. Well, what we could do is see if there are any intelligent women like our guardian here that we could try to seduce and perhaps bring into our court. So, slightly creepy, but I think let's give it a shot. Could sway her first, or could just go in for the seduction. Let's give it a shot. She is a genius. Not sure we have enough. Certainly don't want to use influence at this point. We really don't have enough of anything to get rid of our regent. Go with the top options, as it did have above a 50-50 chance. And again, here, this is really going to hurt. I just don't see another option giving our just really poor military. So I guess we'll grant the lien. We'll immediately have our marshal try to start improving the control. Also change our seneschal to managing our domains. So now we're losing treasury. I just don't think there's anything we can really do about that. We just didn't have the military to take them on. Might as well go for a governorship confirmation. Get some influence. Our dynasty gets some renown. I guess we do have to hire a caravan master. This is still a surprisingly dangerous trip. Maybe we'll get some travel experience. So this looks good. Top one here, only a 3% chance of a negative event, high chance of getting a stewardship point, or even centralization, so we'll do that. Got another stewardship point. Up to 23. I mean, we have a lot of stewardship. The odds, we'll try that. You have 65% chance. Let's give it a shot. Okay, my brother supported my candidacy for the Byzantine Empire. I mean, that's good. I do think we will want to look at these options here. Promote myself. We'll just auto-invite agents. Don't want to spend a lot on this. Do want to check out our governance event here, see what we can do with it. I think the bottom one for the gold, strategos experience, and just higher success chance. So that works out. Can we petition the Basileus for anything interesting? Gold. 60 60 influence. Guess we can give it a shot. Guess we'll try this top one. Okay, well, didn't work. We're just gonna have to run. There's no real chance. The risk of dying is too high for the other two options. We'll just wait. We're not in any big hurry. Try to seduce our former teacher. Okay, so obviously that isn't good that it was exposed. Now I have another negative trait. I've lost level of devotion, so that's all unfortunate. But I do have my genius wife here, so hopefully it'll all turn out to be worth it. Also romancer, why not? That was a bit of a misclick, but thankfully it's a misclick on an event that doesn't really seem to matter. I will almost certainly collect this money. Yes. I think I'll wait until I get one perk, and I'll take cutting cornerstones, then we'll look into building some more buildings. That was quick. Because we're on acclamation succession, just have as many children as possible. There's no real downside. It's not like the realm is going to split in too many different ways because I have too many kids. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. So all of our building levels are 1, probably the least one of the best economic building, which is very likely the trade port here. So we'll go with that. I think let's try the top option. That's terrible. So we failed. Go with endless wisdom here. Might as well equip that terrible artifact. Hopefully we can get some gold here. Obviously go with the bottom option. We're going to go with the bottom option here so we can get influence. Rather have influence than prestige. As much influence as we can get. Go with the bottom option to try to avoid illness or dying. Let's look in terms of... Okay, we need a lot more influence to subsume his governorship. Boundary disputes are cheaper, but I think maybe it's just worth it to try to build up to 600 influence and go from there. We have a daughter. Unfortunately, she did not have intelligence trait. I think We will create a cadet branch, gives us prestige and influence. And that is what did give us an estate. It has absolutely nothing in it. Wow, that is expensive to upgrade. Wow. Let's see if we can get the grain field. 171. Okay. Let's have to wait. Successfully romance our wife, get some more prestige. I'm first in line for the Byzantine Empire. That is shocking. Okay. It must really be hard up for candidates. I'm very surprised, and he's not in good shape. Let's pin him. I'm really first in line for the Byzantine Empire. All right. I think it's worth spending some influence to try to stay first, given our liege is in quite poor shape. I am genuinely surprised that I am first in line. Don't think I need any other secrets or negative traits that'll knock down my piety or people's opinion of me anymore. We'll go handle this. All interesting options. Kind of think the top one here, because if we get that, we can build another building. When the building is built, that gives us some influence, so that sort of subsumes number two. Rather have a building and influence than just influence. And I mean, the strategos experience is useful as well. So I mean, these are all three quite close options, but I don't know if there's one where I'd really say, oh, one of these is clearly better than the others. We'll build the cattle pasture since that has the highest taxes. You see, when we built the trade port upgrade, we got 40 influence along with 4 experience in the strategos trait. So getting the treasury to build buildings is very helpful. I mean, I don't know what a guest is going to do with a hook on me. I mean, I think a strong hook of Basileus sounds quite useful. So we will take that. see if there's anything we can useful to have him do. Can I have him improve our support? Yes. Okay, we can use the hook to make him support me for the Byzantine Empire. That seems quite good. Hopefully taking the Byzantine Empire at this relatively early stage does not end up to be some sort of poison chalice. But I do think, getting it is going to be helpful. Let's take a look to see if there are any scourge conquerors around yet. I think scourge conquerors are decided like every 5 years, so 5 years has passed. There are some out on the steppe. Karlux, Hermia up there in Siberia. The Ghaznavids we already looked at. Let's see where this guy is exactly. Okay, so he's really in Central Asia. So no scourge conquerors close to us yet. Emphasis on yet, of course. One of our courtiers got consumption. Not exactly sure why. I don't compensate people for my pets. So at this point, we're just really sort of waiting for the Basileus to die. We want to keep checking in to make sure that we have the top spot to inherit the Byzantine Empire. Our promote scheme is very useful here, but 69%, I think we could wait until we get 15 advantages. Okay, so this was a lot faster and easier than I thought it would be. It's quite surprising for it to happen this quickly, at least in my view. But we're already the Basileus. I wonder if there is something, playing Alexios, who traditionally was an emperor of the Byzantine Empire, that he gets some sort of special advantage. I don't know. But either way, here we are. I would have thought that the Byzantine Empire already has a crown. What's going on here? Oh, I see. Okay, I enter the royal court. Never mind. I misread that. No, okay, there is a crown. Let's take a look to see if we already have a crown. I certainly would have thought so. And now we get to display everyone's favorite artifact. I believe the only artifact that has domain limit +1 anymore. Crown of Justinian. We will be displaying as many good artifacts as we can here. Girdle of Mary, same faith opinion +6. Looks good. She Automata, diplomacy per level of fame. I think also is good. What do we want between these two? And this one is really more aimed at temples and clergy. I think the crown. And we're not martial. I think it still helps. For furniture, we will put in our two unique pieces of furniture, both quite powerful. Our house banner. Wonder who has our dynasty banner. Put that. Guess that's all we can do there. Okay, we're spending an awful lot on court amenities. Okay. Can't drop them too much and stay at 10. Try to save a little there at least. So I just dropped the food. I want to stay at 10 grandeur here if we can. Should make sure we are paused. What else? Okay, our personal artifacts. So we do have a crown. So there we go. I think that's fine as a crown. I don't need to make another one. Let's see, do I need to ask for a coronation? Assume we need more devotion. Don't think we're going to build that crown at the moment. We will dismiss our regent. We will negotiate these alliances with our brothers-in-law. Wonder if we can use our younger daughter to get a good external alliance. I'm not seeing one. Okay. See how expensive a pilgrimage is, more than we have at the moment. Yeah, the sinful being a sinner really hurts. Okay, let's look at our what we're holding and what we want to hold. Don't think we will be holding Serenica down here. Give it perhaps to one of our brothers or brothers-in-law. In any event, I don't want it. Here, free to have it. So we're going to be 2 over the limit. I think I can live with that. Let's let the game run. Yep. Okay. We'll see what happens here. I'm really concerned about what sort of factions we're going to see. Guess we'll try this top one. It's a bit unfortunate if he gets a strong hook on me, which he did. Alright, well, whatever. Guess we'll do this bottom one here. Let's also look at the decisions we have. Don't think we're going to try to do that unless it's really necessary. Do want to go to training. Fortunately, get wounded. Let's look at our court positions as well. We're going to have a lot more court positions to fill, I assume. Yep. Develop our capital. We'll hold off on the charioteer and bookmaker. Okay. Do want the positions that make killing me more difficult. A royal architect, and we'll put him on public works. Definitely going to want a high almoner here. We will do divine charity. Yep. I think let's go with this for now. You know, obviously we're hurting the treasury. That's quite bad. Hopefully I survive my aggravated wound. Good. Let's look at what our military looks like. Do we really not? Okay, we have some military here. Not a lot, though. Alright. Obviously, we want to improve that over time. But, okay, so good. Our treasury is looking better. As is our gold income. Can I host a coronation? I cannot. Let's build up our holdings here, particularly our capital. Constantinople. Hill farms here. I mean, I guess the question is hill farms or cattle pastures. I guess hill farms, there's not a huge difference. And again, we really want to do what I normally do here, which is take things slowly and build up my strength, build up my domain counties, my estate. Guess I'll be nice. If there was more gold at issue, I probably would have been less nice. Let's also look at themes here. Look by obligation type and look at the ones that don't have any obligation type. See about change any of them, something better. Oh, those are all military. Okay. Okay. Check again if we can just take a short pilgrimage. Looks like we can here. Let's hit some points of interest on the way. Hopefully that won't increase the danger too much. Okay, that vastly increased the danger. Let's just head there straight for now and not worry about getting too cute with hitting all the points of interest. Yeah, because if I just go there, there's some danger, but not too much. Maybe we get some mountaineers, be on the safe side. I think this looks good. Trying to increase our piety and piousness as much as possible. Really want to get up to at least dutiful. I'm not even sure that that is going to be enough. I think we have to go up to the next level. Yeah, faithful. At least so far, we aren't seeing any factions, which is good. But really want to get my level of devotion up. Guess since he's a vassal, we'll just wait. Don't want to go be robbed at a tavern. More pious. We'll just take the bottom one so we don't risk dying. Again, more piety, more piousness. Get the development bonus. Give this a shot. Good. Thought we'd had more children with our wife, but in the meantime, I'll educate my eldest daughter here. Level 10 court grandeur, which is good. Don't want to lose any powerful artifacts. Do want to get piety and piousness. Same thing here. Okay, great. Good job, vassals. Glad you guys are doing it. This is, yeah, great. Wow. Oh, that's a big help, actually. Good job, vassals. Go vassals. I guess let's take that gold. Almost certainly the top one. Okay, that's good, but I think it's not enough yet. Need to get one more level, then we can have our coronation. think I'm happy to get these internal alliances so that people are less willing to rebel against me. That increase in intrigue is just too tempting, so we'll take it. See, with all the artifacts and Hagia Sophia, actually have pretty good stats. We'll try this. I mean, even though it's a coin flip, we stand to gain much more than we stand to lose, so... And we won. Got a lot more gold, so that's very good. I think we have enough gold to go to another pilgrimage, and that second pilgrimage should get us up to be faithful so that we can then host a coronation. So let's do that. Again, I think let's not be tricky here. Let's just go straight there. Maybe hire some mercenary guards, be on the safe side. As we travel, hopefully we'll build up some gold here. And be in a position to look at more buildings, look at our military, do ancient faith, because again, we want piety. We failed there. I'm not sure why we aren't having more children. Not even going to offer me any gold. Wow. Okay, so let's look at fixing our court. We need to get our powerful vassals into positions. Put you there. So long as no one else joins, which is a big qualification. Take more piety. Yeah, we have 33 months. Hopefully that works. It did. Great. More gold. Love it. Might as well equip the lucky rabbit's paw. Okay, one of them dropped out, so that's very good. We'll remove the stress. Not worth 140 gold. We will try not to lose the gold. Hard work is amazing. Plus 10 income. We'll do that. See, we're up to plus 50 a month for our treasury. I think we'll try talking to him, which worked. Got more piety. Might as well lose some stress. Try not to pay the toll. Now that we are Basileus, I think we want to focus more on the avaricious tree. We're still going to build stuff, but here we can use stuff like it is my domain to further improve our gold. I mean, before we didn't have any vassals, so all these benefits to vassal taxes were pointless. But obviously now we do have a lot of vassals, so let's go down the avaricious tree, make more gold. Okay, we're already faithful. So I think we do this. I mean, obviously it's painful stress-wise, but honest is a virtue. Remove the penalty from deceitful. Make my vassals like me more. I just think that's the clear option there. So we'll take that one. Though it does make me wonder whether I equipped the Throne of Solomon. I did not. So we will fix that right now. Okay. All right, onward with our pilgrimage. Delay isn't a big deal. So probably going to call this episode here when I get back to Constantinople. And we'll start next episode with our coronation. I'm pausing here because it takes a lot of treasury to fix this. I think I'd rather spend that treasure in my coronation, and then we'll worry about these guys. But obviously this episode was very surprising. Did not think we would become an adult and then almost immediately become the Basileus. So this obviously puts us in a very powerful position. We're going to be looking to increase our army size and also really look at if any scourge conquerors come to border us, we will do what we can to pacify them, pay tribute, or try to make an alliance with them, or do something else. But everything's going shockingly well so far. So, of course, so far is an important qualifier. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you'll join us for the next episode. Goodbye.